Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little lovelies out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper wow, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously wherever you are in the world. So, what's the time, Mr. Wolf? So, it's 11:31 in the morning on the 4th of August 2026. My delicious little babies. Wisco, rewind and start again. Whiskey Tango. I hope that you're feeling the love. You continue to feel the love, my little honey bunnies. Okay, my delicious little babies now then. So it is trying to sunshine today, my delicious little babies, in my neck of the woods in our old Brummyland. It was a little bit windy earlier. It's not so bad now. And it's still t-shirt weather, okay? Although I did go out with a little jacket on earlier, you know what I mean? Because it just felt a tiny bit chilly. Seems to be picking up now, though. But I hope that wherever you are in the world, that life is treating you most deliciously, my little beautifuls now then. So what have I got for you today? Now, I tried to upload a video. It was the one with my orange top on. And anyway, so I left it uploading. And then I'm still there we are. I'm still going to keep it, my delicious babies. But what's happened is I wasn't uploading anything else. So that's all I was uploading. And it's the one that I accidentally deleted. Somehow I managed, there we are, to retrieve it. I do not know how. So even if I went back to go and do it again, I wouldn't know what I'm doing. Anyway, my delicious babies, okay, these sort of things just, there we are, sort of happen, if you know what I mean, okay? And then I forget how I've done it the first time, you know what I mean? Anyway. So I left it. And I think it was overnight as well, my delicious babies. Well, anyway, I was in my cot, old-fashioned Irish saying, I was in my cot fast asleep. I've still got a really sore eye at the moment. It's really sore, my delicious babies. It's just here. I've had it for about 3 days now. It's just, it'll get better anyway. It'll get better, you know what I mean? I do not run to you not so friendly quacks, you know what I mean? I just leave it just to heal up itself. Whatever it is, I've probably got something in it. I know I did the other week. And, so it's probably just a little bit sensitive, you know what I mean? Anyway, not to worry, it'll soon heal. I don't worry about these things, you know what I mean? Anyway, and I woke up this morning just to find that it says that the video's failed. So, well, it was my fault, wasn't it? You know, because I was supposed to delete the one, was it above it? And I delete the wrong one. No, it was above it. And then I delete the wrong one. That's what I did. I deleted the wrong one. So it's telling me it's failed. I'll try again in another few days, my delicious babies, okay? It's probably one that I'm swearing, a lot on. You know what I mean? My delicious babies. Anyway, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That doesn't mean no, because I haven't listened back to it. Okay? But it could be. Anyway, every now and again I swear down to my delicious babies. Anyway, in reality these days, who does not? You know what I mean? You can listen to thousands of flipping YouTubers or on different platforms who swear. And even if they do not swear on camera for some, I'm pretty sure there we are. Mighty sure they'll swear there we are off camera. Okay, Marty little babies. But anyway, one's sometimes, I'm not talking about all Marty little babies, but for some they act like the shite doesn't stink. You know what I mean? Marty little babies, always quick to point out somebody else's faults, but never look at their damn own. Anyway, Marty little babies. Now then, me personally, I do not see that as a fault anyway. I see that as a flipping blessing. There we are. I see it as a blessing. I really do. And something else just before I begin, okay? Well, this word, I keep hearing about, the Bible, keep hearing about all this now then and all that now then, okay? And, and it says in the Bible, doesn't it, Martin, about, do not hate and do. No, I totally disagree. And I have done, there we are, for decades. Okay, and why do I disagree, my delicious babies? Because as far as I'm concerned, if somebody's done something nasty and damn putrid, okay, well, that deserves, there we are, pure despisation, if that's even a word, and hate. Okay, my delicious babies. So no, I do not share. I do not share parts of the Bible at all, my delicious babies. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean yes. Okay, so I don't want to hear it. You know, I know everybody each to their own at the end of the day, and this is probably just not going to go down very well at all. It's going to be a bit like a flipping lead balloon, but I couldn't give a fiddler's F anyway. As far as I'm concerned, the way I see things is, if somebody's nasty, to use this is what I mean. It's all to do with words, okay? And I've been done saying this, there we are, for whatever o'clock on my videos, okay? Number one, it's to do with words. And number two, it is to indoctrinate, there we are, to the maximum. So that's like saying, well, you know, you could do, somebody out in the world could do whatever to somebody else, you know what I mean? Or, you know, vicious and vile crimes, okay? Oh, but if you just go back to the Bible now then, it tells you not to hate. So somebody, okay, in another part of the world could very sadly, I'm sorry to have to say this, could murder somebody else, okay, who's totally innocent, just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Do you understand what I mean, okay? But if these do-gooders then go to the flipping Bible, oh, but you must not hate. No. Anybody has any reason, and every reason, there we are, to despise and hate somebody who has done something vicious and vile to one of their family members or one of their friends or one of their work colleagues. So I do not share, I'm not shouting at you, my delicious babies, I do not share this business to do with the Bible, you know, and anybody who uses the word hate or, you know, or you must be canned and everything, right? So if you do not follow, no, I'm not in a cult. I have my own noddle. There we are. I have my own noddle and I use my own noddle. And if one's not a liking, that's not my flipping problem. That is how I feel. There we are. That is how I feel on the matter. And it's about time now then that really in the world, and this is not being nasty to anybody, I'm just done saying it the way it is. I'm a woman with a view, she'll have me effing view. And as far as I'm concerned, it's about time that one started, there we are, to damn well flipping wake up. I'm not going to talk about everyone, my delicious little babies, okay? But there are millions of others in the world. Too much indoctrination, man. So no, my video's probably not going to go down well at all. Well, none of them do, really. Okay, my delicious babies. Who cares anyway? Who cares? We're in a world, okay, especially in 2026, my delicious babies, where we've got to start to, there we are, stand up for ourselves. I'm not talking in a violent way. We've got to stand up for ourselves because we are our own saviours. I've said that. Long time, there we are, for whatever o'clock. We are our own saviours. Okay, we do not need to look at no Bible. That's as far as I'm concerned. I'm not telling anybody what else to do. If one's feel comfort, then please stay where you are now with your comforts. Me personally, I prefer a good pillow. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? And that's not me being... Anyway, I'm not even going to say it. If one think I'm a bitch, let them call me a bitch. Who cares? Okay? I've known many beautiful, beautiful families. There we are in my decades, my delicious babies, okay? They've lost lots of beautiful, dear family members. And then they question God, isn't it? Said, where was God? So I don't want to hear this shit. Don't want to hear it. Now then, my delicious little babies, and I believe that we should look after each other. Well, you know, not in that way. We should look after each other, you know what I mean? Leave the vicious to their own ends. There we are. And we should carry on the way we are. Because I would say we probably got around 90%, probably 91%, I'd say, who are good and nice in the world. Okay, polite and courteous. I'm polite and courteous. I was brought up in a household where there was no swearing. I was brought up in a household to cook, clean, iron and wash from a very early age. And furthermore, I was brought up in a household, there we are, to use my own damn well common sense. Now then, my delicious little babies, I happen to have 6 pieces of information. Now, and like I'll repeat again, I'm not shouting at you, my delicious babies. I just get damn well frustrated. I get frustrated with one's preaching. If they want to preach, not being nasty to anybody. If anybody want to preach, go and preach somewhere else. Not on my land. I don't want to hear it. I've seen, there we are, too much sadness in my decades. Believe me on this one. Now then, my delicious little babies, it's very important for me to just please and thank you mention that these videos, okay, because I was like doing a bit of digging yesterday evening, my delicious little babies, okay, and I've been watching, there we are, rather a lot, so there we are, so I did manage to have some time, there we are, to do this, okay, my delicious little babies, whereas you'll have, even in the alternative media or whatever, they very sadly do not have the time, you know, to go through things. Do you see what I mean? My delicious little babies too way. Okay? So what I do, and I do it as a hobby, it is a hobby. There we are. This is a hobby. I enjoy doing it. I just like giving out bits of information. Anybody who's been so very kind enough to listen to my videos, you know, for whatever o'clock, bless you, and thank you. You know what I mean? At least there we are. We have a few who get me, but these days I'm lucky if I get one view. But that's all right. That's all right, because I will keep going. I may get peed off at times. There we are. But it's not going to stop me. Okay? I may have a 1 or 2 or 3 day off, whatever. You know what I mean? There we are. But then I just come back, isn't it? Rubber ball, I come bouncing back to you. What year was that song, my delicious little babies? Yes. Bouncy, 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 bouncy. Anyway, my delicious little babies, it's really important, getting back to the matter in hand. These videos, there's something that I'm pointing out, some things rather that I am pointing out on different videos. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, I'm going to go for the first one, okay? This one, that's the one. This one here, my delicious little babies, and I'm writing down all of the minutes as well, because I need to remember the minutes, you see. Okay, my delicious little babies, plus the fact how long ago it was when the videos, that doesn't mean no, was uploaded. Okay, my delicious little, rewind and start again. All right, my delicious little babies, sorry, okay. No, then, not changing my video anyway, I never do. I never do anyway, do I? Right. Now, this uploader, I'm not talking to any of our delicious little babies who know these uploaders, any of these uploaders. I'm talking to our delicious little babies who are not aware of these uploaders. Okay, my delicious little babies. So the first one happens to have 3.87 million. So that one's very larger. Uploader, my delicious little babies, okay, on YouTube. These are all on YouTube. And this was uploaded 1 day ago, and it is just over 51 minutes long. Okay, my delicious babies, and the uploader is called Nexpo. I'm going to spell it for you. Capital Nexpo. Nexpo. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? Do you know I was looking at that? Na 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 na. Who's that? A T-Rex, wasn't it? You know, it's a group, wasn't it? T-Rex, weren't they? Anyway, I don't know. Just anyway. The video should read, my delicious little babies, the internet's deepest rabbit hole. Okay, my delicious little babies, the internet's deepest rabbit hole. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, there's so much that I've been looking at between yesterday evening and this morning. Okay, there we are. To talk about all of it would just be. I mean, there's one where is it? Oh yeah. There's one where I mean, this is, you know, because as I'm pretty sure that you will know by now, my delicious babies, anybody who's very kind enough to listen to my videos, you will know that there's been a lot of chatty about lab grown meat and you know, so forth. Well, on a video that I was watching this morning, my delicious little babies, well, this woman took a bite out of an apple. This is in born in the USA, in America, my delicious little babies. So she took a bite out of an apple and she thought, oh, it tastes very corky. You know, like pop the cork. You know, like I can only assume what she's talking about is, you know, like in a wine bottle. Okay. Well, you know, in the older what, I don't know if they still do, because there's a lot of with bottle tops now, isn't there? My delicious babies, you know what I mean, like QC. That's just came into my noddle. You know QC. You know, it's a drink, my delicious babies, QC. Anyway, but they started doing it with wines, whereas before you used to have to use you know, a corkscrew, you know, to pop the cork, you know what I mean? Anyway, my delicious babies, so she left this apple out all night to see what it would do. Well, it never went brown and it stayed exactly the way it was. That was a green apple. My delicious babies, mind you, you know, the apple never really falls far from the tree, does it, my delicious babies? I'm not talking about that dear woman. I'm pretty sure if you catch the gist, there we are, what I'm talking about, my delicious babies, which leads me on to the next video, my delicious little babies. So this was uploaded 6 months ago, you know, like I say, leading on. Over 22 minutes long, my delicious little babies, okay? This uploader happens to have 77.3 thousand subscribers. Now, these videos that I'm advertising today, more than likely, unless there's something else I would sincerely hope that ones would please and thank you take a look at, these will usually be, there we are, one-offs. Okay, my delicious babies. But these are very good uploaders. Okay, my delicious babies, in my view. Okay, and as for Nexpo, I really strongly suggest as well, Mads, little babies, that ones look at, take a very good look at some comments. Okay, Mads, delicious little babies, yes. Getting back to this now then, so this upload has 73.77 rather, sorry, 0.3 thousand subscribers, is called Capital T Trip with 1P, then 555. So the uploader's called, this is all together, In No Man's Land, Together, Trip 555. All together. So it's the word trip and 555. Okay, my delicious little babies. And the video should read, these videos left my mind racing for hours. Okay, my delicious little babies, I'm just going to repeat that again for you. These videos left my mind racing for hours. Now, there's another video as well that he uploaded, which was 2 months ago. So this is the same uploader, Trip 555, on his same channel. And it's just over 27 minutes. And the video should read, I should have never clicked on these videos. Yes, my delicious little babies. You see, this is a thing, isn't it? Okay, so what you got to do these days, that doesn't mean no, okay? What we got to do these days, my delicious little babies. So we go back to this again. So we've got some fantastic journalists, okay? There we are, who in their own rights should really be given more than a pat on the back, okay? There we are, because they are superb. Truly, truly superb. Okay? They do all the research. They're done telling the world, there we are, what is happening, what has been happening, what is happening, and what will be happening. And they're done telling everybody, okay? Right? But these days, you've got to fish. Okay, you've got to fish for videos. So they do not just magically appear. Okay, the ones that I find that tend to magically, it's magic, that seem to magically appear are ones that either the algorithm, there's YouTube and everything like this now then, that are pushing it. Okay, my delicious babies, like anything that's Channel 4, anything that's BBC, anything that's Channel 5, I just put not interested, do not recommend, do not recommend, do not recommend. That's what I do, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? So next to the video, you'll see 3 little dots, and then it gives you an option. And that's what I do, just get rid of them. I do not want them on my feed. Okay, my delicious babies, because you can see, there we are, where they push it. Do you see what I mean? We've been watching, there we are, very closely, long time. There we are. Yes, we have. Okay, my delicious babies. So the ones that they tend to put up is clearly, it's ding, ding, dong, dong, common sense. I do not need to listen to any videos to tell myself that this is what they want you to look at. They do not want you to, there we are, to go into anything, there we are, like this now then. Because that's not the done thing, you see what I mean? To where, remember. Ting and thing. You know what I mean? So this one here, I repeat again, I should have never clicked on these videos, yes? It's really rather fascinating. Is that the one where in Indonesia, this one? This uploader, as the other uploaders are all the same, it's like, there we are, they're putting something out, there we are, and they're giving, there we are, food for thought. There we are, simple things, that's what they're doing. Okay? Now, if some take the time, just a little bit of time out of the day on art, my delicious babies, just to take a look at these videos. But like I say, it's important as well, there we are, to look at some of the comments. There we are, all across my shoulders. Okay? And like I say, I'm not talking to anybody who already knows about this. No, I am not. You know, there are millions who do not know about these videos. Okay, my delicious babies now then. There's so much in each video. It's a case of taking how many pieces, bits and pieces, to take bits and pieces. There we are, out of all different videos. This one here, sorry, excuse me, with Trip 555, the one that I'm mentioning now, is that the one with the Indonesian? The little tiny, they're called. They're about as tiny, that doesn't mean that, they're about as tiny as like a little fairy. You know, like little fairies, because I believe that fairies exist. I really do, my delicious little babies. I really do believe in it. I believe in little fairies. I believe in a lot of things, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? You know, ones that others may laugh about. Not everybody laughs. You know what I mean, my delicious little babies? But ones, you usually find the ones who laugh are the ones who are, I would say, on many aspects, okay? Not being disrespectful, just unsaying it, are rather uneducated. They clearly have not gone into themselves. There we are. They haven't gone into themselves, you know, to see that other things are actually, there we are, around us all the time. There we are. Okay, my delicious babies, but it's very fascinating. Now, of course, you know, we have to remember that you got a lot of AI, artificial intelligence, my delicious babies. And of course, you know, we know the drill. It does its rounds, you know, where ones are saying, oh, you know, by 2030, we're gone. You're bad. We're bad from this earth. You're gone. No, I personally do not believe that, my delicious babies. Now, I listen to enough, there we are, to know if I need to research something, I will generally duck, go it, quack, quack, go. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? But as far as I'm concerned, being the practical, there we are, woman that I am, I like to look at ding, ding, dong, dong with my noddle and say to myself, okay, for a start off, who is it that's pushing this? For a start off, who is this man or woman who are saying all these things now? Where did they work before? What sort of, there we are, corporation were they part of before? Okay, because as we all very well know, my delicious babies, it's only the larger videos. Oh, no fillers again. No fillers has gone up. Taxi, taxi. Green and white. Okay, my delicious back with a bit of splashy yellow in it. Okay, my delicious babies. So it's usually the ones who have already got a name anyway. Well, I mean, come on. If your average mankind, just figure of speech, my delicious babies, your average Joe Blogs was listening to these videos, I tell you what, they'd find the nearest, I'm so sorry to have to say this, they'd find the nearest park. Do you see what I mean? Okay, see, so what is it that I'm saying? What is it that I'm getting across and saying? What I'm saying is that ones need to really pay attention. There we are, to ones who are really reputable. Like we go back to the honest journalists. You know, there we are. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babes? And of course, one of my top ones, you know, and I do not care anyway, but there's plenty who love him. I love him too, not in that way, not in that way, is our lovely David Icke. Okay, davidicke.com. Okay, my delicious babies. So yes, you go back to the reputable. I mean, if you look at our beautiful David Icke, bless him, you know, he's been done and proven to be telling the flipping damn truth, isn't it? And of course, you know, with him telling the damn truth, what then happens? He gets all the openings. Not all of the openings, though. They hold some back, don't they, my delicious babies? Yes. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes. So, you know, at the end of the day, you need to listen to please and thank you, just a good piece of that verse. Listen to somebody who's reputable. Do you understand what I mean? Okay. But I'm really thankful and grateful that I actually came across these videos. It's pointing, there we are, so much out. But of course, my videos never get watched anyway. So there's always someone seeing, there's always someone hearing, there's always someone seeing, there's always someone hearing. But the fact of the matter is that nobody listens to my videos. So how many are going to get this information? Not many. You know what I mean? But that's the way it goes. It's horses for courses, isn't it? You know what I mean? What can you do? All I can do, myself, me, myself, and I. What year was that song, My Delicious Babies? Yes. You need to look at the lyrics to songs as well. I've been saying this anyway for whatever o'clock for years. Now then, My Delicious Babies, so that's that. So we've got, okay, this one here happens to have 2.81 million, so another large upload of My Delicious Little Babies. This video is just over 28 minutes long. Okay, My Delicious Babies, this was 2 months ago. And the uploader is called capital C, chilling, space, capital S, scares. Okay, so it's spaces, uploader, chilling, space, scares. Chilling scares. Okay, My Delicious Babies. Now this one here, 5 most disturbing cases of real found footage. Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies. Now then I've got to go backwards again. The next one, My Delicious Little Babies. This is the same uploader now. Chilling scares. This video is just over 34 minutes long, and it was uploaded 9 months ago. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies. Yes, very interesting, My Delicious Little Babies. I'm just going to read it out for you. Rare and disturbing EAS alerts explained. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies, I'm just going to repeat this again for you, shall I? Rare and disturbing EAS alerts explained. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies. Now we just flip back to the last one. This uploader here, My Delicious Little Babies, happens to be just over 52 minutes long. It was uploaded, well, at that point that I'd looked at it 4 hours ago, so I would say 5 hours ago now, My Delicious Little Babies, roughly. This uploader happens to have 112,000 subscribers, My Delicious Little Babies. Okay, I put the ones too close together. Well, that's it, so I can see. Right, okay, My Delicious Little Babies. And this uploader is called capital A, Abyssal. I'm going to spell it for you, My Delicious Little Babies. ABYSSAL, Abyssal. Space, capital D, detective, then a space, then it is the number 2. Okay, My Delicious Babies. So the uploader is called, with spaces, Abyssal Detective 2, but it's the number 2. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies. And the video should read, doesn't mean no, the most disturbing live TV moments that should have been cut, iceberg. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies, I'm just going to repeat this again for you. The most disturbing live TV moments that should have been cut, iceberg. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies, and that's all my videos for today. So, yeah, I know that for some, they just think that I go on all the time, or, basically that I talk a crock of shart. Well, that's fine. That's absolutely hunky-dory, tickety-boo with myself. Because, quite frankly, I couldn't give a fiddler's F anyway. I'm done saying, there we are, what I'm done saying. It's up to others, whoever's got just a little bit of time, please and thank you out the day or not, to please and thank you. Yes, that is a lot of videos to go through, but when you actually look at it and you look at the minutes, it's really not a lot of time out of somebody's day or night, actually. It really isn't. Okay? It's more about, there we are, paying close attention to bits and pieces. There we are, that is what this is about. And of course, looking, there we are, at some of the comments on these different videos, especially certain, there we are, that I point out. Okay, my delicious little babies, so wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected, and how I love you so. You're super duper wonderful, super duper delicious, and I love you, my little beautifuls. Anyway, so very many hugs and kisses. Continue to feel the love. Hugs and kisses, my beautiful, delicious little babies that you all are. And yes, if one seemed to look at myself in my videos and just look at me like I'm a complete bitch, well, carry on. What it is with myself, my delicious little babies, okay, I just have been like this all of my life. There we are. I've really been like this all of my life. In my, let's just say, early teens, and, you know, I'd probably say coming up to my late teens, I probably would have said I was far more easygoing. That is what I would have probably have said. Just let things just go over my head. Couldn't give a fiddler's F, just laugh at everything. Do you know what I mean? Okay? But of course, as you get older, you realise that everything is not as it seems. There can be a lot of mankind who are not very kind at all. My delicious little babies, okay? And there's a lot, thank you! You know, and sorry about that, my delicious babies, that's just our dear Persimmon, bless not in that way, not in that way. And then you find that, you know, you have to, shall we just say, mentally, there we are, have a tougher skin, which is what I do have. But the thing is that I was also brought up, there we are, to be streetwise as well. Okay, there we are, my delicious babies, because I was. You know, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in me gob, in me trap. You know what I mean, my delicious babies, okay? So at the end of the day, we just live like, generally speaking, like most mankind at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? But you have to learn, there we are, as I've had to learn over decades, that when you continuously put up with shit, okay, unless you can deal with that shit, then there we are, then it's going to continuously continue to happen, isn't it? So simple things, you know, when I come onto my camera, yes, I can have my nice moments, I can have my pleasant moments, I can be very sweet when I want to be. But when I'm doing my best here, there we are, with the best will in the world, plenty of wills, isn't there, my delicious little babies that little fuckers want, isn't there? Yes. That's when you see a different side of me, Mads. There we are. That's when you see a completely different side to myself. When I first started my YouTube channel, I was doing readings. So I was there as a hobby to just bang out readings. It's what I chose to do. I wanted to do it as a little hobby, and that's what I did. But when you get me on matters to do with what's going, there we are, on in the world, and everything like this now then. I do not hold back. I do not. So if one's in the world see myself, oh, she's a bitch, oh, she's horrible to watch, oh, so what? Fuck off nicely. Whoever it is, get on your back and pedal fast, because your services is not required. You do not need to watch my channel. You do not need to listen to anything that I've got to say. Isn't it? Too much, there we are. Too much fucking falseness, there we are, in this fucking damn world. Too much materialism, too much greed, too much, there we are, putrid and disgusting behaviour. Okay? Too many with too much ching, 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 than flipping damn well common sense. There's too much of, I mean, you even look at, just change subject for a second, the YouTube videos just before we go, baby. I mean, come on. I mean, you got ones just to do YouTube channels. These, what do they call them? These bloody stunts. Come on, what has the world come to? I know that this has been going on, there we are, for years. I've seen these type of videos for years, baby. What the hell is the damn world come to? Just so you get clicks, just so you get ka-ching, just so that ones like you on your camera. What the hell is going on? You're here to give information for anybody who's doing this sort of what I'm doing as a hobby. I'm here to give information. I'm not here to be nobody's damn friend now then, isn't it? You keep your friends close, isn't it? You keep your enemies even closer. But I can count my beautiful dear little friends. There we are. Believe me on this one, on one hand, isn't it? So I don't come on my cameras to make no damn friends, isn't it? And if anybody's blessed, there we are. And this is not myself bigging myself up, because I do not work off ego, unlike millions of others that you see on the internet who do channels. And that does not apply to every single one. Okay, my babies. But the point is this. If somebody's blessed enough, there we are, to be one of my friends, there we are. They are truly damn well, there we are, blessed. Indeed. So I do not have to show anybody on my camera who I am or who I am not. The way I see it is, what you see of myself is, there we are, is what you get. Okay? And my true friends now then, there we are, wouldn't have it any other way. It's only others on their channels, could be millions of views, could be 25 views, could be 25 subscribers, could be 50 million subscribers. But if all that they can concentrate on is how much somebody likes them, they're very shallow, and I feel extremely sorry for them. Okay? See them, do not want to be them. Okay, my delicious babies, and that is how I operate. So yes, I am, there we are, a practical woman. I see things, there we are, through my, pretend Mr. Magoo glasses. That's no offence to anybody who wears glasses or contact lenses. The point that I'm making here is, my delicious babies, is this. Through my pretend Mr. Magoo glasses, I see what I see. Do you see what I see? Do you hear what I hear? You see what I mean? I'm not here to be nice to everybody. I'm here to give information out. Who I like, who I advertise regularly, there we are, is who I advertise regularly, who I enjoy listening to. That is who I like. But if they do not like myself, that's not my problem, is it? That's their problem. That's their issue. It's not my issue. You see what I'm saying? This is how I operate. Do you know what I mean? And that is how I'm going to lead my video, my delicious little babies to know. Ones look at myself, if anybody see me in the street now then and I have a little natter to them, I have a little natter. It's nice to be nice, after all. Not in that way, not in that way. But why should I have on this falseness and this pretense to be somebody who I'm not, certainly somebody who I never want to be? If somebody's smiling in the camera continuously, oh, butterflies and fairies, butterflies and fairies, I question, there we are, that type of man or woman. Okay? Anybody who act like their own shite doesn't stink, isn't it? There we are, I question that type of man or woman. Okay? Because each and every day, each and every one of us, you and I, and believe it or not, even these rich, well, they call themselves rich, you know, they're certainly not rich in personality, are they, Martelischlik babies, you know what I mean? But the point of the matter is, each and every one of us, you know, you're going to have obstacles in life, you're going to have problems in life, you're going to have things where not everything's going the way that one wants it to go. And that can apply to anybody who is poor, to who is, they call it this mediocre business, or to the rich. It can happen to anybody. But I'm not just going to come on my video and like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm giving out, there we are, serious, damn well information, there we are. And I spend a lot of time, apart from the times that I cannot always get to do it, but for most of the time, and like I said, it's a hobby, but I spend a lot of time doing this to make sure, there we are, I get the correct information out to the best of my ability. Do you know what I mean, Martelischlik babies? And that is all that I can do. Nobody asked me to do it. Do you know what I mean? But it is what I do. But I'm not, certainly not here for everybody to like me. Because I couldn't give a fiddler's fuck if somebody likes me or not, quite frankly. You're not living in my household, are you? You're not doing my cooking and my gardening for me, are you? You're not flipping going to the shower. You're not going to the toilet when I need a shit or a piss, or I need to shower myself. You know what I mean? You're not around if I'm not very well. You know, well, thankfully, touch wood, you know, it's a rarity that I'm ever poorly. And let that continue, my beautiful dear creator, my beautiful dear little angels, beautiful dear little spirit guides. You know what I mean? But I'm in a camera. So anybody who I see on a camera, you know, looking at other videos, they're on a camera. You know, it's not real, is it? You're on a camera. Do you know what I mean? And that's the point I'm making. There we are. One of the points I'm making. So no, I'm not here, you know. I mean, if you think that's bad, I mean, my daughters, you know what I mean? They think I'm strict. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. I see it as being perfectly fine myself. And if I hadn't have been strict, then they wouldn't have grown up the way they have. And I'll just rest my case. So you just please look after yourselves now then, my delicious babies, wherever you are in the world. And I do happen to love you all so very much. Those who take the time, there we are, to even look at my videos or look at my shorty, because each and every time I'm giving out a message. Sometimes more than one message on a video or on a shorty. Especially on the shorties. Okay? There's a number of different things going on. Things going on when I upload, especially the shorty videos. But my normal videos, this is for ones where if they cannot have the time to look at something, then they can look at something else. Or they can get somebody, there we are, one of their team to look at something else. There we are. That is why I do what I do. But like I said, I do it as a hobby. Okay? And that is all I do. Okay? So please look after. I'm not going to bore you anymore. Anyway, this is not boring. I'm just done saying it the way it is. How I love you so. Take care. Thank you once again for listening. Goodbye.